This is an interesting anniversary. Sunday marks 3 years since Jonah Lomu's death, and of course he'll forever be remembered as a true legend. And in fact, this past week, an entire town got together to celebrate the All Black great. But it wasn't here in New Zealand, it was half a world away.
Well, what Jonah did for the town of Aberavon 10 years ago was just immeasurable, you know?
It's something out of a fairy tale, really.
10 years ago, the Aberavon Naval Rugby Club cast a hopeful invitation to the biggest name in world rugby, asking if he'd make a guest appearance at their training. No one really expected Jonah to come. No one even expected a reply.
Next minute, there's rumours that he's going to be coming down, and then next minute, you've got a training session and he's there. And it's like, hang on a minute.
There must have been 1,000+ people there with children, parents and everybody.
Jonah held a training masterclass. Naval club players, local school children, even rival club players turned up.
After that, we went for a pint down our local pub, the Amazon. He came in, he served, he talked about his life.
After a few pints, the players took a punt and they asked Jonah if he'd play in a charity match to raise money for the town's vulnerable elderly. Once again, Jonah said yes.
You had to pinch yourself. To be in his company, to be able to, see your mates lining up alongside him, to be playing with and against him, was just... It was the stuff of dreams. It really was.
The famous number 11 didn't ask for an appearance fee, but his mere presence in that game raised thousands of dollars and won the hearts of the townspeople.
Amazing. I mean, it's still being talked about to this day.
If we went into the community now and spoke about Jonah Lomu, everybody would tell you where they were.
For the players who shared the sheds with rugby's first true superstar, they got to know the real Jonah.
He would just so much time for anyone. You would listen, I'd have a laugh with you, have a beer with you, just talk through anything with you.
Now Stuart and the other players want to return the favour. Tonight, in Wales, they'll play an exhibition game to raise money for a cause a bit closer to the New Zealander.
Jonah Lomu Legacy Trust. It was set up shortly after he sadly passed away in 2015. For his two boys, we just couldn't think of a better way, 10 years on, to mark what he did for us.
Just give something back to the guy who he didn't have to. He didn't have to come down. He could have been anywhere in the world at that time. It was just something that sticks with. Jonah came here, and Jonah was awesome, basically.
It doesn't matter where you are, whether if you're in Paris playing in the biggest stadiums or, if you're playing at the Millennium tomorrow. This is where it all sort of starts. And for me, it's just a privilege to play the game that I love.
He was so special, eh? He was special to us because he was an All Black and he was a great All Black, but you forget that he was, really our only global sports star.
First rugby global superstar, really.
Right, in the UK, in Wales, but also in France and in the US. Robin Williams, the comedian, all he knew about New Zealand was Jonah Lomu. Still, when you mention New Zealand overseas, a lot of them will just say All Blacks and Jonah Lomu. So 3 years, it's incredible, and great piece remembering just what he meant in so many different corners of the world.
And he taught me how to do a press-up properly once.
Did he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to come to the gym that I would do boxing in my little area. He'd just come and watch us train. And I was doing a press-up. He said, "Oh, Jackie, doing it wrong."
Really?
"Oh, teach me." It's okay. Wider. Put your nose up. "Oh, thanks, Jonah."
Yeah, that's the story you tell.
That's the story. And then he gave me a ride home in his new Bentley.
Wow.
He was honestly the loveliest guy.
I reckon the real story was, "Go away, Jonah."
What?
Sounds much
That's what
more
you
like
said when he offered to help.
Yeah, that's right.
Get lost, Jonah.
We're going to move on to the story now, but I don't want to hear any more of this from Jonah.